This is how you stack a pipeline helmet and the products that I use as a pipe welder. I'll have a disclaimer, none of the products that we have here have we received any funds to represent. There's stuff that I find that works in the field, and I'm not getting any compensation, so I pay the same price that you do for all of the items that you'll see here today. I'm going to start off with one of the more popular helmets that you see if you're beginning to weld, and you'll see these somewhat in production welding too, in shop production. This is the Speed Glass, this unit. It's a little older unit, and there's several reasons I don't use this anymore. I have used it in my shop in the past, but one of the primary reasons is I can't stack, which is going to be in this video describing what stacking is. And also, adding cover lenses, this is quite expensive, and I'll describe that in the videos and move forward. So this helmet I rarely use anymore, even though it's a great brand and it works well for what it's meant for. I don't ever use it any longer. So I'm going to start off with the pipe liner. This is a Honeywell pipe liner helmet. It's got some modifications. It is cut away on the bottom by 1.5 inches. Let's rotate it here, and it has the welder-made headbands added to the pipe liner headgear. On the side is the adjustment nuts. These are aluminum. Underneath the aluminum adjustment nut is a steel washer that adds tension to the helmet. This is an excellent adjustment nut with the washer, so you can tighten it with your welding glove on. These headbands are made from welder-made headbands.com. They're on eBay. He sends a handwritten note every time I've bought one, and they're a fantastic product. So they're leather, but this one has brass snaps and the other one has chrome snaps. All right, so we're going to start off with stacking, what stacking is. So stacking is exactly what it sounds like. It's stacking products together before you put them in your helmet. So we're going to start off with the primary reason I use the 2x4.25 viewport, and that is my primary welding helmet for both shop welding and field welding. And why, if you go and shop and field welding amongst these pipe welders, and then of course many other structural welders, you'll see only these helmets used, and this is probably one of the main reasons why, is the cover plate. Cover plate is made by Best Welds. You can get many different types of cover plates. I prefer Best Welds. You can buy 60 for $60. You can buy 100 of them, and I change them out sometimes twice in a day, depending on how much splatter. If I'm MIG welding, I will definitely change them out twice a day, and sometimes that is 2 to 3 cover shields that I'm replacing. So far more economical than your traditional wide Speed Glass or Miller or Lincoln full dimensioned helmets. So I'm going to start off with the new cover plate. I do this every day, either for my part-time job or full-time in the shop. This is glass. This is made from Sellstrom. I get these at Granger's, as I do the Best Weld cover plates. Now I use 2 of these glass because I primarily MIG weld with this helmet. Another glass. And then these are the small auto darkening. They do not have a battery in them. They're generated from your arc, and this one happens to be the high definition Lincoln. This is an excellent auto darkening. I believe it's 3 to 11 or 3 to 10. I don't quite remember. But having said that, this is a very expensive product. It's about $100, if not a little bit more. And I'm going to have a couple of other auto darkening that I feel like are equally as good as this. I don't think they're any better than this one, but they're close to the same quality as this. So I add the Lincoln. Now the magenta from Phillips. This is also a very expensive item, so you want to be careful with it. You don't want to scratch it. I would also recommend 1500 sandpaper to take the edges off so you don't chip it. I haven't done that to this yet, but you can do that and sand off the edges both on the glass and then on any of these half filters. So this really helps with eye fatigue and clarity along with the high definition. And then I use magnifiers because of my age. They help with my weld. So this is a 3.0. I have 2.5 and 2.25. So I add that. That is a stack. And then this is the old style spring steel, and it just snaps in. And that helmet is done. Okay, so I just fell out of there because I didn't snap that spring steel in properly, so I'm just going to move on. This is a 1970s pipeliner helmet. It looked just like this helmet. I did the top cover in bib. I bought those on eBay for $40. If I did it again, I would just buy leather. I kept this before I installed it and made a template for both the top and the bottom, and these are a brass rivet, which they send actually in the kit, the tool that you can clench these with. So you can buy this helmet completely built from Outlaw Leather, which makes a beautiful helmet. I just went this route. I do like the older style flip. This is an old fiber metal from the 70s, and I prefer this flip up. It is aluminum. It does add weight to it, but it's very smooth. It has a spring inside of each one of the hinges, and it's very easy to snap up and down from welding to either grinding or whatever you need to do, so you're not pulling your helmet up and you're getting your eye protection still. I'll talk about the Cellstroms that I've added to the pancake helmet in a little bit and why I prefer this over the Cellstroms. So we're going to stack this one. So again, we've added the aluminum adjustment nut with the washer, and now this has slightly different headgear. Again, has the welder made headgear. I've just put the back piece on the top, and it's got the front band cover, and then of course it has rubber that just pulls through. Now you can, when this wears out or breaks, you can add IV rubber if you can find it someplace at a medical supply store, and it's quite durable and fits within these slots. So we're going to flip this one upside down, and again we're going to stack this one. So we're going to start again with the cover lens. This is slightly different because the catches are top and bottom instead of side to side as it was in the pipeliner. Glass. These are slightly harder to get in. You can add another glass, but unfortunately with this, I don't have enough room to put two in, and I will describe why I use two in a moment. And then this is a Radner 24S. I really like this. It has a soft greenish color to your arc, and it runs at about half the price of the Lincoln. That's not any better than the Lincoln, but it's a close equivalent. And then I run a cover plate on the back because I do flip this up for grinding, and this protects my auto darkening. Now this has a spring steel because it is an older design, and I like this. This one's slightly different, and you put it in and you snap it onto two ledges that are top and bottom, and that holds that first stack in. Now I have also an interior stack in here, just like I do on the pipeliner. So with this, we start again with the cover plate. Glass, which isn't 100% necessary. This is a ice blue from Phillips, also expensive, so we'll take care of them. probably want to round these edges again, even though I haven't yet. It's a filter. It's a half shade filter. And then this is a 2.5 magnifier. And now this is a plastic. I don't prefer these, but they're easy to find and easy to replace. So put that in. Takes 2 hands to snap it in there. And in place. So, all right, so let's go into the pancakes. Now, I'd use a fixed lens for certain items, especially in pipe welding. I really want a very clear view. I'm welding mostly old oil filled pipe and making it into cattle panels or different farm related items. So sometimes our cuts are not 100% on, and so you have to fill some gaps, and you really need to be able to see when a gap is very tight or when a gap is expanded. And so I run a fixed lens. It's already tacked in position. Now, these stack slightly different. This is a wide stack pancake from Wendy's. And you'll notice that I have the side cutaway. I am, again, not a rig pipeline welder. I use this helmet because it's very effective in outdoors, and it also is very effective for crawling around equipment or around a pipe fence, so it doesn't fall off and it stays in position very well. Much better than these. You never hit this and it doesn't loosen up. It also does not allow for any light to come in after you have sanded out your viewport box. My viewport boxes are all sanded to fit my respirator. I always use a respirator for work, and the reason I have these cut back is I wear these walkers. They are a voice enhancement, ear protection, and they also have Bluetooth on them, so you can listen to music, or in my case I listen to audiobooks. So this has a wider stack on it. Now this is a lens that is made in Germany. It's old. I got it kind of by accident on eBay, and it is unbelievable, the clarity. I wish I could recommend exactly what brand it is. I don't know. It just says made in Germany on the backside. It's glass, obviously. Again, I should grind these edges. It's been chipped, but it's in excellent shape on the surface. I've looked for lenses that are equivalent. Philips has them. They're nearly $300. Some are $200. Unfortunately, I didn't pay that for this, but I hope to never break this. It's an incredibly clear lens, far better than the auto darkening lenses here. You have clarity on both sides of your puddle. And Austin Ross does a video on fixed lenses that are expensive and kind of describes this at greater detail. So, but to protect that fixed lens, I do run this gasket, I call it, or spacer, so it's not rubbing up against my glass, my plastic. And now this is another Philips ice blue, also expensive, so take care of it, filter on the back side. That's a half a filter. So I'm not sure what my fixed lens is. I'm assuming it's around 10. And then the magnifier. Now you see that's quite a stack that goes in there. And that's why you want the wides. If you're going to stack on that, when you describe this, when you order a Wendy's, you want to get the wide. So they have a spring inside of there. You can slide everything in, and then you can push down on the spring or back, and you can add your. I'm gonna have to take one of my glasses out. Just too much. That spacer makes a difference, but I definitely don't want okay. So Now you'll notice that the spring on this fixed lens or on this pancake is quite a bit wider because it is the wide. So you slide that in there. Now there's supposed to be a rubber or a foam piece that comes in here. You end up losing those quite often. So one of the, I'll find one that doesn't have a cover in it. One of the things that people do is roll up their space, their cover lens, and just shove that in there as a back space. And obviously it's disposable. Just helps add some tension to the springs themselves. And that's my fixed lens. Now you notice that I have kept mine so it comes on and off. The reason for this I will describe at the end, and it's because I wear not only my hat by Lori, but I also wear a full welding hood, and then I wear sometimes a stocking cap and my ear protection, so I like to snap this off and pull it around all of that. It holds it all taut. So that's why that one is set up that way. Okay, this is a Sellstrom pancake. I put the Sellstroms on myself. Here's the number one reason I do not like the flip lens from Sellstrom. It's a very quality product, but I need to snap it in and snap it out. And you end up pushing against your face because this is balsam wood. You end up pushing against your face and it hurts to do that, and it's not smooth as easy as this is, which I use when I'm using a grinder and I want some eye protection. But if you have any comments on this and how to make this a more smooth application, please add those in the comments below. Otherwise, we stack this one slightly different again. Now this time I'll be using again the Radner 24S, and I also want to talk about the singles. This is an excellent product. I damaged this myself, so unfortunately I don't use it much anymore, but when I did use it was really good. I did not have a good cover shield and ended up getting splatter both on the photo eyes and then on the screen. It's still usable, but an excellent product called Singles, and but I prefer not to use it. I did get these two Radners coincidentally on a buy from eBay and have really liked them. And I have an Arc 1 coming, so I'll do a small video on that as it comes as to how Arc 1 is. And that Arc 1 runs at half the price of the Lincoln. So again, cover, the glass. I always have to orient the screen up. And then again, another cover to protect it. And this has a spacer that goes in. And then this adds tension. And everything's in position. So on the inside of this one, since this one I prefer to grind with, you'll have a oh, there it is. You'll have the cover shield, and this is a 3, so it does affect this some. It gets a little dark in here, but I'm also able to come up and then use a torch with this helmet. So I put the 3 in, and then add on top of that, of course, my magnifiers. This magnifier is cheaper than others because a torch can be quite damaging sometimes with slag. So I've run the plastic magnifier and put that in as a group there. Add the clip in the back and the foam. This one I still happen to have the foam in. So, and that's why this one, like again, this is a 3. It's constant, and then this is the auto darkening. It does work if you're welding MIG. You can still see it in arc depending on, but it's not preferred, but it's great for that combination when you're torching, tack welding. This is a really nice setup. And again, I have this shortened for the ear mounts. I do want to show you briefly what a balsam headpiece looks like. You can see the gap there where the stack goes. This is where all the items go in. If you were to take them out, they fall into there and they stack. This is a short stack and it just goes to, this is a traditional Wendy's, excellent pancake, and you just screw it right to the faceplate on there. I took this one off and this is kind of a backup. These are the spacers. They're important for the fixed lenses, and preferably should probably use them on any of the Phillips halves either. So that's all the products that I use. The last thing I'd like to describe here is the gloves. I prefer these, even though these are brand new, but I prefer these for stick welding over all other gloves, because I can wear a small set of knit gloves in them and I'm still able to slide my hand back out. All right, that completes the video.